Coca-Cola produces 800 million plastic bottles every year. But once the fizzy drinks are consumed, bottles are often thrown on the streets and in landfill sites. Over the years, Coca-Cola has invested heavily in recycling. Today, 65% of all its plastic bottles are recycled. The soft drinks giant is aiming for 100%. Sumitra Nydoo visits a bottling plant in Johannesburg to see how it works.
Plastic is one of the worst materials affecting the environment, but because it's cheap and versatile, eradicating its use may be a long way off. Coca-Cola has invested millions into coming up with a less hazardous plastic bottle that can be recycled and reused. It uses a tiny food-grade pellet made from 15% recycled material, including a polymer resin.
The pellets go to our factory down the road in Wadeville. We make a preform. It looks like a test tube. That preform goes to the Coke bottling plant, and as they blow the preform into a mold, it creates the bottle, and as they blow it, they fill it as well.
Just like glass bottles, these little plastic bottles can be recycled and reused. If you look closely on the label, it does say please recycle. However, consumers do very little to get them into the right rubbish bins.
Plastic is normally in a non-returnable container, so meaning it is a one-way container, and that's why it ends up with the consumer who disposes of it, and we need to then recover it from that disposal site, which makes a difficult reverse logistics supply chain compared to glass, which is a returnable normally in the Coca-Cola company, and we send that glass out in crates and it comes back in crates, so it's not difficult to recover.
Millions of used bottles from around the country are collected and transported to recycling centres. Impact is one of the biggest recycling plants in South Africa. It receives around 29,000 tonnes of discarded bottles a year, but only 21,000 tonnes is turned into reusable plastic material.
So remember, when the bottles come in, you've got the closures which will separate, and we can actually, or the lids, we recycle those separately. It's a different material. Also the labels, we take those out of the bottles, and sometimes the bottles come in with a bit of liquid left in them, and that all reduces the yield.
96% of Coca-Cola's bottles are recyclable, but not all manufacturers produce bottles that can be repurposed. Coca-Cola is working on a plan to increase awareness and collection. It's aiming to raise the recovery of its bottles to 100% in the next 12 years and more than triple the recycled material. Sumitra Nydoo, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.